Who is Thoth? An enigmatic deity of ancient Egypt whose name still echoes through time. Revered as the god of wisdom, for millennia, his influence has guided civilizations, and even today, his legacy impacts the world of science, knowledge, and mysticism. But who was Thoth really? What made him one of the most significant gods in Egyptian history? Let's unravel the mysteries of Thoth and his profound impact on the world. In the beginning, before the world was formed, there was only the primeval chaos of Nun, the watery abyss that existed before creation. From this cosmic void, the gods of Egypt would emerge, bringing order to the universe. But it was Thoth, born from a mysterious and divine origin, who would hold the key to wisdom, communication, and cosmic balance. Ra, the great sun god, was one of the first beings to emerge from the chaos, rising from the waters of Nun in a beam of radiant light. He began to shape the world, calling forth land from the depths and bringing life to the earth. But even Ra, in all his power, could not create the order needed to sustain this new world without a guide, a being who could oversee the cosmic laws and hold the knowledge of the universe. And so it was that Thoth was born. Some myths tell that Thoth came into being from Ra's own essence, manifesting as a force of pure thought and wisdom. Thoth was the embodiment of divine intellect and cosmic understanding, self-created from the mind of Ra. He was Ra's first thought, the spark of reason that made the creation of the world possible. Regardless of the specific tale, Thoth's nature as a divine force of intellect, wisdom, and order remained the same. Unlike the other gods, Thoth was not just a physical entity, he was a living idea, an abstract concept made flesh. Where Ra gave birth to the sun, Thoth gave birth to knowledge. Where Ma'at gave birth to order, Thoth gave birth to communication and understanding. Thoth's very essence was bound to the cosmos. He was not only born from Ra and Ma'at's divine union, but also from the fabric of the universe itself. It is said that in the beginning, before the earth was solid, Thoth held the power of the divine word, Heka, the magic that shaped reality. With a single utterance, Thoth could manifest the laws of the universe. Through this power, he became the god who measured the heavens, whose wisdom was not just knowledge, but the key to the cosmos. As the god of wisdom, Thoth's influence extended into every aspect of the world. It was Thoth who divided the days, who charted the stars, and who gave the gods the understanding of the mysteries of life and death. His wisdom was so vast that even Ra, the sun god, would seek his counsel. Thoth's knowledge was infinite. No question was too great, no mystery too deep. And yet, for all his wisdom, Thoth was not a god of destruction or violence. His power was not in force, but in understanding. He did not impose his will through might, but through reason, teaching humanity the ways of the universe through the written word and divine thought. It is no wonder then that Thoth was revered as the patron of scribes, the god who brought writing into the world. For with writing came the ability to record and pass down knowledge from generation to generation. Through Thoth, the written word became sacred. It was Thoth who taught mankind the art of the scribe, of recording knowledge in symbols that could preserve the wisdom of the gods. The words of Thoth would echo through the centuries, influencing not only Egypt, but civilizations across time, for in every written work there was a spark of Thoth's eternal wisdom. Thoth, though born from the divine forces of Ra and Ma'at, was no mere god of creation. He was a god of balance, the embodiment of divine intellect and cosmic law. His birth marked the beginning of an era where knowledge, wisdom, and the very nature of time and space were forever intertwined. Thoth's legacy would not simply be one of gods and mortals, it would be one that defined the very essence of civilization itself. Thoth, the god of wisdom, was the embodiment of knowledge and intellect, revered by the people of Egypt as the divine patron of scribes, scholars, and philosophers. But to understand the true depth of Thoth's power, we must first understand how deeply entwined wisdom was with the very essence of Egyptian life. To the Egyptians, knowledge was not just a tool, it was sacred. In the ancient world, the written word was not simply a method of communication, it was the key to understanding the divine. Scribes, those who could read and write, were held in the highest regard in Egyptian society. To them, Thoth was the patron god who granted them the divine ability to record history, law, and sacred knowledge. The very act of writing was an act of creation, a bridge between the mortal world and the divine realm. Legend tells that it was Thoth who first imparted the art of writing to humanity, using his divine wisdom to show the first scribes how to craft the sacred symbols that would record everything. Thoth's first gift to humanity was the hieroglyphic script, a system that would outlast dynasties and preserve the culture of Egypt for millennia. The hieroglyphs, with their intricate beauty, were more than mere symbols. They were the embodiment of cosmic order, each symbol containing a universe of meaning. Thoth, as the god of wisdom, was not just the creator of writing. He was the living spirit within every word, every stroke. His connection to the written word went far beyond simple communication. It was a form of divine magic, capable of shaping reality itself. As the god of wisdom, Thoth's influence extended far beyond the realm of earthly knowledge. He was called upon to guide the scribes who crafted the Book of the Dead, the sacred text that would guide the souls of the deceased through the afterlife. In the tombs of pharaohs and nobles, these texts were placed alongside the mummified bodies, ensuring that their journey into the afterlife would be one of protection and enlightenment. Thoth's wisdom was not limited to religious texts. He was the god who ensured that knowledge was preserved, knowledge of medicine, mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy. The ancient Egyptians built vast libraries to house their scrolls, where scholars studied the sciences of the stars, the workings of the body, and the understanding of the cosmos. In this sacred pursuit, Thoth was their guide, imparting his wisdom to those who sought the secrets of the universe. Thoth's wisdom extended to the stars themselves. As the god of time and the moon, Thoth was the keeper of the celestial calendar. He was the one who divided the days into hours, the months into seasons, and the years into cycles. His knowledge of astronomy was unmatched, and it was Thoth who helped the Egyptians track the stars and predict the flooding of the Nile, which was the lifeblood of their civilization. Thoth's mastery over time allowed the Egyptians to understand the rhythm of life itself. His wisdom was not just about earthly affairs, it was about understanding the divine order of the cosmos. The lunar cycles, the movement of the planets, the alignment of the stars, all were under Thoth's control. By understanding these cycles, the Egyptians could predict the future and ensure the prosperity of their kingdom. Beyond the written word, Thoth's wisdom was also about understanding the deeper, more abstract elements of existence. Mathematics, geometry, and philosophy were realms where Thoth's influence was paramount. The Great Pyramids, the architectural wonders of Egypt, were built according to the sacred geometry that Thoth inspired. The very foundations of Egyptian thought, both practical and philosophical, were shaped by Thoth's hand. Thoth's wisdom was not confined to the scribes and scholars of Egypt. His teachings spread throughout the land, influencing kings and queens, priests and warriors alike. From the construction of monuments to the implementation of laws, Thoth's knowledge was woven into every aspect of Egyptian life. His wisdom gave structure to their society, from the smallest administrative detail to the grandest religious ceremony. Above all, Thoth was known as the god of the moon, and in his lunar form he held dominion over time, cycles, and cosmic balance. In the night sky, Thoth's influence shone brightly, not only as a celestial body, but as a divine force that governed the rhythm of life itself. But Thoth's connection to the moon was more than just a cosmic association. It was a symbol of wisdom, of change, and of eternal renewal. The moon, with its ever-changing phases, mirrored the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth. Thoth, as the god of the moon, was seen as the keeper of time, the master of the moon's waxing and waning. To the ancient Egyptians, time was sacred, an unbroken flow of moments, governed by the phases of the moon and the rhythm of the stars. As the lunar deity, Thoth's wisdom transcended the boundaries of Earth. He governed the celestial cycles, marking the passage of days, months, and seasons. The Egyptians, who revered the moon's changing face, believed that Thoth's movements through the night sky were not just a celestial dance, but a reflection of the eternal cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Each phase of the moon represented a different aspect of existence: birth, growth, decay, and renewal. The ancient Egyptians believed that the moon was a source of immense power. As the moon waxed, it brought new beginnings and knowledge. As it waned, it brought closure and reflection. In this cosmic dance, Thoth was not just the observer, he was the guide, ensuring that the ebb and flow of time was preserved and that nothing was ever lost to the void. He was the mediator between the sun and the moon, bridging the light of day with the darkness of night. Thoth's lunar nature was deeply tied to the concepts of balance and justice. The moon's phases symbolized the soul's journey through life and death, while Thoth's wisdom ensured that no soul would ever be lost in the darkness of the underworld. Just as the moon passes through its cycles, so too did the soul pass through its own cycles of judgment and rebirth. And in each phase of this journey, Thoth was the guiding light. Thoth's lunar powers were not only associated with death and the afterlife, but also with the magic that governed the universe. The Egyptians believed that the moon held the secrets of the cosmos. Its phases were thought to influence the tides, the seasons, and even the fortunes of individuals. Thoth, as the god of the moon, was a divine magician, capable of manipulating these cosmic forces through the power of his wisdom and the divine word. The magic of Thoth, as the god of the moon, was tied to the lunar cycles. In Egyptian thought, the moon was not only a reflection of the night sky, but a repository of divine knowledge. The changing moon was a reminder of the eternal nature of the universe, how all things rise, grow, fade, and return. Just as the moon's light was never extinguished, Thoth's wisdom endured across time. Thoth, as the god of the moon, was not just a celestial being, but a cosmic force that ensured the harmony of the universe. He was the keeper of time, the protector of the soul, and the divine force that bridged the realms of life and death. In the moon's phases, we see the cycle of existence itself, a reminder that, like the moon, we too are part of an eternal, unbroken cycle of knowledge, rebirth, and transformation. And in this cycle, Thoth is our guide, our protector, and our light in the darkness. In temples dedicated to Thoth, moonlit rituals were performed to honor his connection to time and cosmic order. His influence was felt during sacred ceremonies, where the rising of the moon marked the beginning of important rituals. The priesthood, under Thoth's divine guidance, would align their practices with the celestial rhythms, ensuring that every ritual, every offering, was made in harmony with the cosmic order that Thoth upheld. While Thoth's wisdom and influence extended far beyond the mortal world, it was his role in the afterlife that cemented his place as one of the most revered and essential gods in the Egyptian pantheon. To the ancient Egyptians, death was not an end, but a transition into another realm, and Thoth was there, guiding souls through the mysterious and perilous journey into eternity. Thoth's connection to the afterlife is one of his most profound aspects. As the god of wisdom, he was invoked during the judgment of the dead. The Book of the Dead describes the weighing of the heart, the critical moment when the heart of the deceased was weighed against the feather of Ma'at, symbolizing truth. Thoth, as the scribe of the underworld, recorded the results of this judgment and ensured that the scales of justice were balanced. While Anubis, jackal-headed, the god of embalming and funerary rites, oversaw the weighing of the heart, Thoth's role was far more subtle, yet equally important. He recorded the outcome, ensuring that the soul's fate was chronicled with the utmost accuracy. The weight of the heart revealed the person's moral integrity during their life on earth. If the heart was light as a feather, free from sin, the soul would pass into the afterlife. But if the heart was heavy with wrongdoing, it would be devoured by the terrifying Amit, the soul-eating monster, and the journey would end in eternal oblivion. Thoth, the eternal scribe, was not simply a passive observer. His wisdom allowed him to judge the soul's purity, and his writing ensured that justice was carried out with divine accuracy. In many ways, Thoth was both the protector of the soul and the ultimate arbiter of its fate. His understanding of truth and justice was unparalleled, and it was through his intervention that the divine laws were upheld in the afterlife. To the Egyptians, the heart was the seat of the soul. Its emotions, memories, and deeds were stored within it. If a person had lived in harmony with Ma'at, their heart would be light, and their soul would be free to enter the afterlife. Thoth, in his infinite wisdom, ensured that the soul's journey was not decided by chance, but by the unbreakable laws of divine justice. The scales of Ma'at, guided by Thoth's wisdom. Thoth's wisdom and the knowledge were said to help the soul overcome obstacles, such as serpents and monsters of the underworld, allowing the soul to reach the final goal, the field of reeds, the paradise of the afterlife, and reunite with Osiris. Allowing the soul to reach the final goal, the field of reeds, the paradise of the afterlife, and reunite with Osiris. Thoth's divine role as the scribe, judge, and guide in the afterlife ensured that the journey of the soul was one of enlightenment and rebirth. Just as he had guided the living in matters of knowledge and wisdom, so too did he guide the souls of the dead to their final resting place in the afterlife. Thoth's influence was so vast that his image became synonymous with wisdom, knowledge, and the divine order. As one of the most important deities in the Egyptian pantheon, Thoth was depicted in many forms, each carrying a distinct meaning and reflecting his multifaceted nature. To understand Thoth, we must look not only at his mythological role, but at the symbols and depictions that reflect his divine power. Thoth's most iconic depiction is that of a man with the head of an ibis, a bird revered for its keen perception and its association with the moon. The ibis, with its long, curved beak, symbolized Thoth's connection to the moon and his role as the god of wisdom. The bird's sharp eyesight was thought to represent the clarity of Thoth's intellect and his ability to see beyond the surface of things into the deeper truths of the universe. An important symbol often associated with Thoth is the Ankh, the ancient Egyptian symbol of life. While the Ankh was primarily linked with the gods of fertility and creation, it was also a key symbol for Thoth, as it represented the divine power that granted both life and death. Thoth's wisdom was the force that upheld this cycle, ensuring that life and death were balanced and in harmony. Thoth's wisdom didn't remain confined to the temples of Egypt. As Egypt's influence spread across the Mediterranean, so too did the reverence for Thoth. His divine role as the god of wisdom and the moon became deeply interwoven with the intellectual and mystical traditions of Greece and Rome, creating a legacy that continues to shape Western thought and mysticism to this day. As Egypt's great wisdom traditions traveled west, Greek philosophers and scholars began to absorb and integrate the teachings of the Egyptian gods, particularly Thoth. Greek philosophers like Plato, Pythagoras, and others were drawn to Egypt's rich intellectual heritage, where they studied under the priests who held the sacred knowledge of the gods. Through the work of these thinkers, Egyptian wisdom became a cornerstone of Western philosophy. However, it was in the fusion of Greek and Egyptian beliefs that Thoth truly began to take on a new identity, one that would transcend the bounds of Egypt itself. Thoth's most profound transformation occurred in the Hellenistic period when he merged with the Greek god Hermes, the messenger god of communication, travel, and trickery. This fusion gave birth to the figure of Hermes Trismegistus, thrice great Hermes, a divine being revered as the ultimate teacher of wisdom, magic, and alchemy. To the Greeks, Hermes Trismegistus became the god of knowledge, much like Thoth had been to the Egyptians. The fusion of Thoth and Hermes created a new archetype, Hermes Trismegistus, the god of wisdom, alchemy, and esoteric knowledge. As the embodiment of divine intellect and secret knowledge, Hermes Trismegistus was seen as the founder of Hermeticism, a mystical and philosophical tradition that sought to understand the nature of the cosmos and humanity's place within it. Hermeticism, rooted in the wisdom of Thoth and Hermes Trismegistus, flourished throughout the Hellenistic world and later in the Roman Empire. The Corpus Hermeticum, a collection of philosophical and mystical writings attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, became a foundational text for Western mysticism. These teachings, which combined Egyptian wisdom with Greek philosophy, influenced a wide range of thinkers, from early Christians and Gnostics to Renaissance philosophers and alchemists. During the Renaissance, the rediscovery of Hermetic texts sparked a revival of interest in alchemy, astrology, and magic. Scholars and mystics began to see Hermes Trismegistus as a figure who embodied the deepest truths of the universe. His teachings on the transformation of the soul, the secret nature of the cosmos, and the pursuit of divine wisdom became a key influence on the development of Western alchemy and esoteric traditions. Alchemy, the ancient art of transforming base materials into gold and seeking the philosopher's stone, was deeply influenced by Hermetic principles. Alchemists believed that the secrets of the universe, as revealed by Hermes Trismegistus, could lead to spiritual enlightenment and the transformation of the self. The goal of alchemy was not only to transmute metals, but to transmute the soul, achieving a higher state of wisdom and purity. At the heart of Hermeticism was the belief in the unity of all things. The macrocosm and microcosm were interconnected. The famous Hermetic axiom, "as above, so below, as within, so without," reflects the idea that understanding the universe is inseparable from understanding oneself. Thoth, as Hermes Trismegistus, was the divine source of this hidden wisdom, offering keys to both cosmic and personal transformation. Though the Hermetic tradition waned in the modern era, Thoth's influence never truly faded. His teachings continued to inspire philosophers, scientists, and mystics throughout history. His legacy as the god of wisdom and knowledge found its place in the intellectual movements of the Enlightenment, where thinkers sought to uncover the hidden truths of the universe through reason and scientific inquiry. The mystical Book of Thoth, The Book of Thoth, a name that has echoed through the ages, a legendary text that has captivated the minds of scholars, mystics, and seekers of wisdom for centuries. It is said to contain the secrets of the universe itself, the knowledge of the gods, the magic of creation, and the divine understanding that governs all things. But what is this book? And why has it held such an enduring allure throughout the ages? The Book of Thoth was not just a symbol of knowledge, but a symbol of power, a power that was only granted to those who were worthy. The book's contents were said to be hidden from the unworthy, and only those who could prove themselves through wisdom and purity of heart could unlock its secrets. Thoth's guardianship over this sacred text ensured that the divine wisdom it contained would be preserved for those who truly sought enlightenment. The book's contents were said to be so powerful that it was kept hidden from those deemed unworthy. Only those who possessed both wisdom and purity of heart could hope to unlock its secrets. The Book of Thoth was not just a text of knowledge, it was a key to mastering the laws of the universe, to understanding the forces of life, death, and creation. It held the knowledge of the divine, the secrets of magic, and the hidden truths of existence. Among the secrets contained within the Book of Thoth were spells that could summon the gods themselves, magic that could control the forces of nature, and rituals that could unlock the very gates of the afterlife. In many ways, the Book of Thoth represents the pursuit of ultimate knowledge, the unending human quest to understand the universe, life, death, and everything in between. As long as there are those who seek wisdom, the legacy of Thoth and the book that bears his name will continue to inspire and captivate the minds of those who dare to look beyond the veil of the known world. The Book of Thoth is more than just a legend. It is a testament to the eternal pursuit of knowledge and the timeless wisdom that transcends all boundaries, whether divine, earthly, or cosmic. Those who seek the book are not merely searching for power. They are seeking the truth that lies hidden in the fabric of existence itself. Conclusion of Thoth's eternal legacy. From the dark chambers of the underworld to the vast stretches of the cosmos, Thoth has stood as a symbol of wisdom, balance, and divine knowledge. Throughout the centuries, Thoth's teachings have inspired not just the scribes of ancient Egypt, but scholars, philosophers, and mystics around the world. His wisdom transcends the ages, merging with the legacies of other cultures, from the Hellenistic Greeks to the Renaissance alchemists. His name lives on in the form of Hermes Trismegistus, and his influence continues to shape our understanding of knowledge, balance, and the mysteries of the cosmos. As we look to the future, Thoth's wisdom remains as relevant as ever. Thoth, the divine scribe and keeper of truth, continues to guide those who seek wisdom, whether through the written word, the study of the cosmos, or the quest for spiritual enlightenment. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and legacy of Thoth. If you've been inspired by his timeless wisdom, remember that his teachings are never far away. Comment book, and you will be sent access to Thoth's divine teachings. Keep seeking, keep learning, and may the light of Thoth guide you along your path. Subscribe for more ancient wisdom.